All right, you've seen these problems before, but some new little twist comes into play. It says an object thrown in the air from a height of 6 feet, velocity of 80 feet per second. After how many seconds is that going to land on the ground? Okay. All right, so I'm finding the seconds. And of course, as we know, we have the seconds, which are x, and the feet, which are y. So the feet per second, okay, that's 80. And what goes up must come down, and it lands on the ground. Okay, and I make a pretty big box. Gravity is what pulls it to the ground. And then negative 16x to the second plus 80x plus the 6 it started from equals y, but we know y is 0 here. Okay, so there's two answers, and I look through the equation. I got x squared, and I got x, so factoring. Okay, 0's in the house, so 3. And GCF. And the t-chart. Okay, GCF, you're always going to have a negative in front, so you're always going to do the GCF. Okay, you don't have x on everything. 16, 80, and 6 on the GCF calculator is 2. So I factor out a negative 2, and then I go up and divide. So that's positive 8 with x to the second. That becomes negative 40, not just 40, negative with x, and that is 3, but it switches to a negative 3. Okay, so A, B, C. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. Well, got a little problem here. Right away, I'm too small to get 40, because 1 and 24. F, fail. So we got another thing to do when that fails, okay? And here it is. And I will be using these three. Opposite of B, positive 40, plus or minus the square root, parentheses second, minus 3 parentheses in a row. So B is negative 40. And then I have 4. And A is 8. And C is negative 3. Okay, so I have 2 times 8, okay? So I make this outside, I got plus minus, and I've got 40, and I've got 16. Now I'm going to make my 2 square roots off to the side, okay? And then negative 40 times negative 40, that's positive 1,600. Whoops, didn't give myself enough room, okay? And then minus, always minus. And then I take 4 times 8 times negative 3. Okay, and that is negative 96. So plus, and that's 1,696. So I find the square root of that. So I square root 1696, and that's 41.18. Okay, so 40 plus 40.41.18 equals, divided by 16, and that's 5.07. That'll be a good answer, it's positive. And then 40 minus 41.18, negative 1.18, divided by 16 is negative 0.07. Okay, ditch the negative and go with the positive. A little over 5 seconds. Now, I am going to actually show you a little trick on these calculators where you can do this, get from here to here without going off to the side. And here it is. Go second and square root. Now, you need to double your parentheses at the beginning. There needs to be 2 of those. And I put negative 40 in. Close it. Now, I take it to the second power by hitting this key here. Second power. And then minus, and then a parentheses 4, close it, parentheses 8, close it, and a parentheses, -3. Close it. I got 41.18 exactly. You're allowed to do that, okay? Okay, next problem. A soccer ball is punted into the air from a height of 3 feet with an initial velocity of 70 feet per second. How many seconds will the ball land on the ground? So seconds. And my units are seconds, defined by x, and feet, defined by y. Okay? Per feet per second is 70. Okay, what goes up must come down, but it lands on the ground, so 0 feet. So big, huge box. So gravity. -16x to the second plus 70x. Now there's another thing in this problem with 3 feet. Plus 3 equals y, but I know y is 0. Okay, so there are two answers. And I've got x to the second and x, so a factoring problem. Now I count the terms. There's 3. GCF and the T box. Okay. GCF, well, right away you got a negative. Okay. You got x on everything? No. 1670 and 3 gives me a 1 GCF, but if it's -1, it needs to be factored out and divided. Okay, so positive 16x to the second, that switches that to -70x, and that switches it to 3. So my ABC is run from here. Okay, A is 16, C is -3, and that gives me 48 negative. So difference of 70. Well, you know right away that's impossible, because 1 and 48, I mean, that's an F, okay? 47 is already too small. Okay, if it starts bigger than 70, maybe, but it doesn't. Okay, so x equals opposite of b, so 70 plus or minus d square root b squared minus these three things. Okay, b is -70, and then a 4. A is 16, and c is -3. Over 2a, 2 times 16. Okay, so plus minus, I have a 70 in front, and I have that. I don't know what this is yet, but I know 2 times 16 is going to be 32. Okay, so I figure this out by taking -70 times -70, and that's 4,900. Minus, always minus because the minus is there, and then 4 times 16 times -3. -192. So I'm subtracting a negative plus plus. I got 5,092. Okay. So I find the square root of that. 71.36. Okay. Now another thing, you can just go on your calculator with that. So second square root, double the parentheses. You got to double the parentheses if you're going to do this. -70, close it, second power. A minus, and then a 4, a 16, and a -3. Okay, same thing. Okay, so 70 plus 71.36 equals, before I divide by 32, 4.42. That's a good answer. 70 minus 71.36 equals, divide by 32, -0.04. Okay, so 4.42. Ditch the negative, go with the positive. Okay, and the last one I'm going to go over. Just tell me my battery's running. Okay, actually, hold on here. I want you to do this one on the assignment, okay? And I want to actually do this one with you, the football, okay? So this is a sign, okay? You need to do that other one that I just skipped. You'll do that one and this one. The baseball you do, and I want you doing the object launch from 20 foot high. Okay, I'm going to do this one. Football punted from a height of 5 feet with a velocity of 60 feet per second. After how many seconds will it be caught at a height of 60 feet? Okay, so seconds, right there. So X is seconds, Y is feet. Feet per second, I know that is 60, okay? Okay, so the object goes up, comes down, but it's not caught. It's not 0 feet. It's caught, and the height is 6 feet. Okay, so remember that instead of equals 0, it's going to be equal to 6 because it never lands to 0. So negative 16x to the second because gravity plus 60x plus 5 equals y, but y is 6. So there are two answers. And I've got x to the second along with x, so that's a factoring problem, any way you dice it. But where's 0? I shouldn't have 6 there. Oh, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so negative 16x to the second power plus 60x, and then negative 1 equals 0. So there's 3 terms. So GCF and the T-chart. Okay, GCF, you got a negative in front? Yep. You got X on everything? No. 16, 60, and 1 is 1. So negative 1's out. And then that will switch that, 16x squared minus 60x plus 1. Okay, 16 times 1 is 16, so positive. Sum of 60, there's no way that works. I mean, think about it, okay? Starts high, gets lower, it ain't going to get to 60, okay? So x equals, opposite of b, 60, plus or minus the square root. So b is negative 60. Then 4, so A is positive 16, C is 1. Okay, so 2 and 16. Okay, I didn't give myself much room here, did I? Okay, so I've got 60 plus or minus, I don't know what this is, and then 32. Okay, so negative 60 to the second, that means negative 60 times itself, and that's 3,600. Minus, and then 4 times 16 times 1. That's 64. Okay, I don't need to plus that. So 3,600 minus 64 is 3,536. And I'm going to need to square root 3,536, and that's 59.46. 59.46. So 60 plus 59.46 equals, divided by 32, is 3.73. That's a good looking answer. Okay, and 60 minus 59.46 divided by 32, and 0.02. Now that's another good answer, so it's both of them, okay? Now, the reason you got 2 on this one is because it is at 6 feet twice. Because he launches it from 5 feet, so it's going to be 6 feet when it goes up, and that's why that is there. And then back down, more times pass, so that's why that is there. Okay, that's all I have to say on that. Hope it's been informative. Have a nice day.